Hi Guy, I thought we'd have a bit of a chat about old online gaming today. I mean, online gaming goes back a long way, obviously, with World of Warcraft, but I'm talking even older than that. Probably, well, 96, 97. I mean, old things like the Neverwinter Nights, that sort of thing on the old AOL service, and all the 3D style Dungeons and Dragons games you could get back in the day. But ones in particular I used to play. I mean, the very first one I ever got into was Ultima Online, and they've just announced it's about to get its 18th anniversary a pack or DLC pack, whatever you call it. Called Time of Legends, I believe. Now, I think they've updated the graphics as the years have gone on. Bits and bobs as they've gone along, but I mean, going back to it today, it's completely different to what it was back like then. But every few years, I always log back in and have a go and just see what it's like. I mean, you know, fresh accounts each time. But I mean, it's about 97, 98 when I first got in, and this is when Richard Garriott was still around and allowed to be. Lord British and popping up in Worlds. And you know, you always hear this story about him doing the announcement and being killed and so on. And I was actually online that day, but I playing the game, but I wasn't there. I just heard about it afterwards, and the shock and the horror at the time and the things that went on. I mean, I never really played him for long. I usually get about 2 or 3 months in, and I get too distracted. I'll go and play something else. And one of the strangest situations I ever got in is this guy stealing all my stuff. I mean, this used to happen a lot because it was the early days. There was no rules. This guy would steal all my stuff. It's like a bloody bully. And then just chase me around the entire world, and then wherever I died, he would steal all my stuff again, and then it was just a bloody nightmare. And he was tracking me down for days, and I couldn't believe it at the time. And I started chatting on some web news group through Outlook Express back in the day. It might have been earlier than that. Yeah. Got a couple of people together, and they helped me clear him off. It's just one of them crazy things. But yeah, so I've dabbled in and out of it for years. I always loved the way you could go in and do proper role playing, and you know, everyone would be like sat in a bar or having a laugh with a drink, and you go off and have an adventure somewhere. You come back into a group and have all this. It's similar to what you do today, but you know, Ultima was the first and probably had the most to do at the time. I just loved it to bits, and at one point, I mean, it was around about 2000, 2001, something like that. And I'd gone back in again, new fresh account, and I was just talking to some guy, and he says, "Oh, I'm quitting." He says, "I own a house in such and such." He says, "I've also got a load of gold," and I think he gave me like 100,000, 200,000 gold, and this brand new house, and all this amazing equipment, which I couldn't use because I was too low level. So I just filled this house up and everything, and I think you had to pay rent from the gold at the time. It was absolutely bloody brilliant, and it just made. I mean, I stayed in it for about 3 or 4 months after that. Made my own guild. I can't remember what the name was at the top of my head, and went off adventures and things. And I tried a few different careers. You know, you could do all sorts in Ultima. I mean, things like, I think Fisherman was probably the best one I ever did. I always had a lot of a laughs. And Friday night I'd go knocking around with about 5 or 6 different people, and we'd just sit there. It was all chat, you know, because it just didn't have microphones. This was all dial-up, I think, at the time. Might have been a lot later on the fishing trip, but it was just great fun. I mean, yeah, I miss a lot of that as the years go on. I just quit on going on to other games like Halo 2, for example. Back in the early days of Xbox Live, we used to have this gaming group, and we'd go on every other week on either a Wednesday or a Thursday night and just spend a couple of hours going around the maps and having team battles and flag battles, and that was on the old Xbox news groups. Xbox video game Xbox, something like that, years and years ago. And we did great stuff together, you know, we had fun doing that. And before it all sort of died off, we all got together and gave a load of money, a lot of mint, and gave it to Oxfam to buy some, I think it was something for a school or a water, something to do with water for this. Because this is years and years ago, but we raised about £1,500 for the charity. We were chuffed to bits with it. But yeah, that's something else. But I mean, after Ultima, one of the big ones I got into, but never really enjoyed, was Everquest. Because, you know, you get to that point where, well, Ultima's okay, but Everquest looks amazing because it's not like 2D, whatever, from the top. It's all proper 3D maze. You know, it's all from behind and getting out in the action and stuff. But it was too bloody hard for its good. It had a reputation for it. It was really, really difficult to play and get through it. And I never get on with it. But, you know, there'd be people playing, God, couple of years of their life getting into that, and similar sort of thing, building guilds and stuff. And I always got stuck around the start of towns, and I remember a couple of times trying to attempt to go on mass journeys, and I'd maybe get about probably equivalent about 100 metres out of the front gates of one of the starter towns, and you just got slashed to bits. So you get killed instantly because the baddies were just too hard, or I'd go into a cave just round the corner from the main town. I remember it. And I think it was a bat or a floating skull or something came and got me, and I just died in there, and that was I just got sick of it, and that was the end of it. But I mean, even on Everquest, I tried it for about 2 months on and off, and I had met a couple of great people in there. One in particular, just this guy, we were just helping level each other up, and we got a fair bit on, but again, because of the difficulty, I just got bored of it, and then wandered on to other things. A few years later, of course, everyone I think tries Warcraft at least once. I mean, my experience with the Warcraft games was the original RTSs. I mean, Warcraft 2 is one of my all-time favourites. I can play that in my sleep. Going through every single level, I just devour new maps as they come up, and I didn't like the third one, funnily enough, but I don't like the sort of 3D view of that type of game. It's nothing to do with I know it's a good game, I just don't like that 3D sort of view, so I never really give it the attention it deserved. I still can't to this day, even going back, going on to any of the new modern ones. I don't know why, I just don't like them. The graphics for me are a big draw, and if it's not a certain look, I just can't get into it. But yeah, I mean, off the back of that, I thought, well, this is going to be interesting, seeing what it's like as an MMO. And I mean, a couple of months again, got pretty far. I think got up to about level 20, maybe 25. Started wandering around the main town, getting into some player versus player battles and having a bit of fun. I mean, the thing with that, it was all about exploration, and I got pretty far. I got to maybe some of the surrounding towns, and then I tried it I was an orc, and I tried it as a human side, and same thing in reverse. But got bored of the human side because I think it was too many forests all the time. It was boring. It was like the equivalent of running around sewers and leveling up for hundreds of just lots and lots of time. So. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting them all now, but over the years I had lots of experience with these type of games. There's all sorts of stories go on. You always hear funny things happening. Like I say, the whole thing with going back to Ultima Online, the whole thing with Lord British getting killed before a crowd of people when he would come to do one of his regular speeches, because he wasn't supposed to be a killable character, and somebody cheated and managed to do it. And stuff like that happens all the time. I actually miss Ultima, but I say, going back to it now, I think there's probably about 20,000 people playing it, maybe more. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's not as big as it was. But it's amazing it's still going all these years later. I mean, I'm convincing myself now I should go and try and see what it's like on a souped-up PC. So, yeah. I mean, guys, have you any stories? I mean, I'm sure some of you must have grown up with these type of games, even if it's just Warcraft or whatever. I mean, I know there was other ones. I think Ashen's or something like that there was a fair few around about the time, but I never really dabbled beyond Everquest and Ultima. But there was I think Camelot, something, Quest for Legend of Camelot, something like that. Cameradian, can't remember. But there's a fair few of them knocking around about the time. The whole AOL thing, I was on AOL for a period around about 97. But I think I just missed the Neverwinter side of things. There is actually a site they rebuilt Neverwinter, and it's actually still got an active web community service. So it's the mid-90s online and RPG. We can go off in teams and groups and things, explore the maps and the levels and do the battles and things. And I did try it a fair few years back. It's all chat-based, but it was pretty good. It was actually quite entertaining. It was that, a breath from the past, a look at the past just to go in. So, yeah, go and have a look around, see what you can find, by all means. But please, guys, post below. Let me know your experiences, what you like about it and what you don't like. Yeah. As always, guys, oh, I almost knocked the camera over then. As always, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe below.